Government of Canada statistics on the health of children in Canada are cause for concern. 30% of children are currently overweight or obese. 79% of children are not active enough for normal, healthy development. And only 20% eat the minimum daily recommended number of fruits and vegetables.
I can tell you as Minister of Health, one thing that keeps me awake at night is a new statistic which shows that the current generation of Canadian children has a lower life expectancy than the generation that precedes it. And I believe that's a first in our country's history. So what that says to me is that we are not doing all that we need to be doing to engender healthy behaviors and attitudes, particularly in very young children, and then support them in sustaining those behaviors throughout life so that they don't develop the chronic disease that is such a burden on our healthcare system today.
According to the World Health Organization, Canada will experience a 60% increase in diabetes by 2030.
Most of us would agree that the future depends on our children, but I think it's also fair to say that our children are being robbed of their future. The current generation of children in the United States is expected to be the first in the nation's history to lead shorter lives than their parents did. Now, this is in the face of stampeding medical advances that make life longer, but in the face of that, something is going to make their lives shorter. Well, that something is poor diet, physical inactivity, obesity, and diabetes, and the other diseases that follow from those lifestyle factors.
The good news is schools are stepping up to the plate to actively teach, promote, and role model healthy lifestyle choices. These schools are called healthy school communities or health promoting schools, and they are on the cutting edge of a new approach to improving educational outcomes by addressing student wellness.
We need to make wellness a key element of education, that it's child-centered, and so that we can achieve educational outcomes by addressing children's wellness, and that it's a holistic approach to teaching.
Health promoting schools are aware of the link between health and academic performance and go out of their way to make the healthy choice the easy choice at school. They know that healthy students will learn better, and better educated students are healthier. It's a virtuous cycle that some schools are activating to set their students up for a lifetime of success. This has been the approach of the Edmonton Public School Board.
In fact, some of the anecdotal information that I've received from teachers is that when health is prioritized and increased opportunities are given to students for physical activity and improved nutritional practices, you actually see improved academic outcomes in the classroom. So for those people who tend to be somewhat traditional and say, this is what we should be concentrating on, health is important, but really, let's just put that aside because these issues are what we should be concentrating on, I would suggest that we can do both. And when you see the link, and there's much research out there that shows the clear positive link between improving children's health and improving academic outcomes, improving the health of children may be one of the least understood and least developed strategies to improve academic outcomes in education today.
This link is something that has been studied by Dr. Paul Veuglers, a professor in the Department of Public Health Sciences at the University of Alberta. He's considered an international expert on the topic.
Research has shown that kids who eat healthier learn better. My own research showed that kids that were eating healthy were 30% less likely to fail the provincial achievement test than kids that were eating unhealthy. That is a big difference, right? Which school would not like to see a 30% improvement in the student performance?
Health promoting schools are guided by an internationally acclaimed framework called Comprehensive School Health. This framework has been endorsed by the World Health Organization and stems from the 1986 Ottawa Charter for Health Promotion. In Alberta, Comprehensive School Health guides and empowers schools to take action in 3 areas of focus: healthy eating, active living, and positive social environments. Comprehensive School Health also has 4 pillars. These pillars help to embed health and wellness into the day-to-day culture of the school, ensuring the long-term success and sustainability of health initiatives. The first pillar is social and physical environment. Health promoting schools create safe social and physical environments where students and staff thrive and feel a sense of belonging. The second pillar is teaching and learning. Schools are an ideal place to teach healthy living skills and to offer opportunities to practice these skills and perfect these skills throughout the day. The third pillar is healthy school policy. These policies establish high standards, set targets, and clarify expectations. This top-down approach is critical to the success of the comprehensive school health model. Policies shape the environment by making the healthy choice the easy choice. The final pillar is partnerships and services. Comprehensive school health pivots on partnerships. At the school level, it is a partnership between teachers and students, between staff and parents. And at the community level, it's a partnership between schools and local business, municipal government, and health authorities. At the national and international level, schools, corporations, and even celebrities have teamed up to help raise a healthy future generation.
So comprehensive school health is an approach to create a healthy school community. So the analogy I'll give you is a game of hockey. So a game of hockey has officials, it has 5 skaters on one team, 5 skaters on the other team, has a goalie, has equipment, has all these different elements of a hockey game. So on the other side, we could have people on the ice, we could have some helmets, we could have a puck, we could have a sheet of ice, but that's not hockey yet. So hockey is when that flow or that creative work starts to all work together. So that's comprehensive school health, and I know we have in some schools we have some wonderful things going on, and they're trying to adopt a comprehensive school health approach. And each thing they do, they're getting closer to comprehensive school health approach. But it really is a combination of all these wonderful things going on at one time.
Today there are hundreds of schools in Alberta and thousands around the world that have adopted this framework. École Good Shepherd School in my hometown of Okotoks, Alberta, is one such example. Good Shepherd School recently formed a health team consisting of parents, teachers, senior administration, and later they included students. This team, with the help of a health promotion coordinator from Alberta Health Services, set out to understand the comprehensive school health framework and adapt it to their own school. Good Shepherd's first step was to assess their school for their strengths and their weaknesses relative to the 3 areas of focus. Good Shepherd was already strong in the area of active living. Commitment to daily physical activity for both staff and students is one of the cornerstones of a health-promoting school.
I'm very, very proud of our program here at our school. Borderline cocky about it, actually. I think our secret, because we've been asked that, how do we get so many kids to join everything, is that our first goal is to get the kids to love phys ed. We want it to be non-threatening, a place where they can go, feel safe, not embarrassed. So many people my age hated gym because it was a moment where you were humiliated. We try to run our program so the kids come in and they don't have to fear anything. For example, when we do relay races, it's not the last person down or the first person in wins, and then you're all watching that last person run in. We'll time it for 1 minute. How many times can your team run to the end and back? So then when the minute's up, you blow the whistle. No one's embarrassed. No one's standing out in the field by themselves waiting to come in. You feel good in the gym at Good Shepherd. I know that when my kids are physically active, I know for sure their marks are going to skyrocket. I watched one study where they said the kids had math, one group had math 5 days a week, and the other group had math 3 days a week with 2 extra phys ed. The kids that had the 2 extra phys ed got higher marks. Physically active, that does all these things through your brain.
The next piece of the puzzle is healthy eating. Good Shepherd recently saw an opportunity to reverse their lunch schedule.
Before, they would come in and eat first after their classes, and they were in such a hurry to go outside and play and one thing and the next that they just weren't finishing their lunches. So this way, with our reverse lunches, they play, they come in, they eat, and they're hungry, and then they settle and they're ready to go back into the classroom for the afternoon. So it's been very successful.
Our school has something called Fresh Fruit Fridays, and so today, do you guys remember last time when they brought those Oranges? Yeah. So this time they are bananas. So the school council was very nice enough to give us these bananas for Fresh Food Friday today. And my last special group, come on up. There you go. All right. And you know what, Amelia? You can make a lot of things with banana. You can make banana pudding and banana bread. Banana split. Banana smoothie, that's right. Banana bowl.
Good Shepherd School also put in place some healthy eating initiatives for staff.
We wanted to make sure that all our staff had a chance to sit down and have a good meal before we continued with the rest of our meeting. So they weren't coming in with a hasty lunch or having eaten at all, or just something that was a fast food type of lunch. So we intentionally went with the idea of a good hearty soup in the winter months and a nice good fresh salad in the warmer weather.
The final piece of the puzzle is creating a positive school environment. Developing a child's self-esteem and emotional resiliency is perhaps the greatest lifetime gift. Adults dealing with addiction and abuse issues have been found to have very low self-esteem, something that started when they were children.
So when I see someone who looks sad.
Good Shepherd practices intentional courtesy to bring kindness and respect into the day-to-day culture of the school. This program was developed by Jerry Goebel and is being led by teacher Greg Gibbs.
And with the littler ones, we go in the school and teach values that we call intentional courtesy. In other words, go out of your way to be kind, and we say to the lonely, sad, and even the mad, so that we're not just being courteous to those who are courteous to us, but being courteous to those who are in need.
Go out of your way to be kind to the lonely, sad, and even the mad.
Fostering trust between the grades is also part of Good Shepherd's social wellness strategy.
And one of the things that we teach very early in the year is that and the students know the actions to it, that courtesy builds trust and trust helps us learn. And from that, we try to build that trust from our youngest kids to our oldest kids, and focusing on our grade 6 kids, who are the big kids in the school. If we can create an environment where the grade 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s, the kindergarten kids have a trusting relationship with the grade 6s, it's going to improve that school culture as well.
It helps us learning, because if we trust our teachers, we can trust that they're teaching us the right things, and they're teaching us like everything we need to know to eventually have a good job.
Good Shepherd created space for students to notice and recognize acts of kindness.
So one of the things that we did was we called it 5,000 Acts of Kindness, and we just asked students and teachers, anybody that's in the school, to when you recognized a kind act from somebody else, to just jot it down on one of these little colorful stars, and they would go up on the wall. So the response to that was huge. We got stacks of them every day. The walls are coated with them. The gym is lined.
As we traveled the province, we discovered that comprehensive school health is limited only by the imagination of schools. The creativity of the health promotion initiatives we encountered cannot be put into words. Even major corporations have jumped on board and are offering resources and supports to schools, cheering them on in their efforts to set kids up for a lifetime of good health and good grades.
I think one of the greatest successes we've had so far this year is the transformation of a cafeteria in one of our middle schools. We received a grant from Hellman's Mayonnaise Company, and they went into the cafeteria, bought new equipment, changed the menu to healthier choices. And we had a big unveiling of the cafeteria. We had lots of media people come out, and then we took the deep fryer out of the cafeteria, we put it in the playground, and we had a monster truck drive over the deep fryer. And the kids were chanting, "No more deep fryer."
The Red Deer Catholic School Division adopted the framework at the district level and hired a full-time wellness coordinator to facilitate the implementation of comprehensive school health in their schools. This position is justified because it saves the district money in terms of reduced staff sick days and stress levels. It's also having a positive impact on scholastic achievement and student behavior, making teaching easier for teachers and improving staff morale.
But in general, our school division is a pretty happy school division. We're very forward thinking. We know that health and wellness is important and it's a priority, and we have support from our senior admin. Our trustees are very supportive.
What percentage of Canadian youth attain the recommended 60 minutes of moderate physical activity? Okay, I have some numbers.
Okay.
33.2. So, 52%, 35%, 15%, or 7%?
The 30% one.
Nope.
15.
Nope. Next group. 52, 35, 15, or 7? 7. Yes, 7%. So not very many. The total daily sedentary time for children 6 to 19 is how many hours per day? 4.5, 6.8, 8.6, or 10.3? 8.6. Right, very good.
Our grades and our scores in this division are excellent, and I like to think that part of it is that healthy component that's happening in the schools. I think some of the teachers have noticed a decrease in anxiety level with the kids, right, as long as they're getting out and they're active. So anxiety level, kids with ADHD, we understand that they need proper nutrition and active living breaks. So that's been a big focus on some of the schools that have a higher concentration for kids with those issues.
This isn't just something teachers notice, it's something students notice too.
Well, I have always been a very strong advocate on eating healthy and working out and staying active, because I just think it really promotes your ability to focus in school, to focus on extracurricular stuff that you have to do outside of school, and it also really relieves that stress that added stress that you get from all of your schoolwork.
Dr. Donald Massey's school from Edmonton Public is another school on the cutting edge. In 2009, the board implemented a nutrition policy which prohibits junk food in schools. School efforts to abide by this policy have been appreciated by parents.
Our parents are very much in support of our initiatives. They, thank us. A lot of them thank us because before their kids would go home and they'd say, "Oh, I want to bring some junk because everybody else gets to." Now, because everybody's bringing healthy food, it's really easy, a lot easier for them to get their kids to eat healthy food.
You know you're in a health-promoting school when peer pressure flows in the direction of healthy choices. At present, many parents are pestered to send packaged foods because that's what all the other kids eat. When it's cool at school to eat your fruits and veggies, then you know you've created a healthy school culture. Parents rejoice, students focus better, classrooms are more manageable.
Whenever students have a birthday or if a teacher's throwing a party, students know and parents know as well to bring healthy items for the party, so veggies and dip, fruit trays, cheese trays, juice boxes, yogurt, that sort of thing, instead of the cupcakes, cake, pop, chips. And it's been a huge success. So we started up our school store this year, and it's been a huge success. At first the students were like, "Miss Lafayette, why don't we have chips? Why can't you sell chips? I really want chips for lunch." And I would explain to them, well, chips are not healthy, that's not a healthy lunch, it's not a healthy snack. So we brought in sandwiches and salads and fruit, and our school store is more successful than we would have ever imagined. We have incredible lineups. We have students that buy their lunch 5 days a week at our school store.
Another school that has taken steps to promote health is Leslieville School with the Wild Rose School Division.
At Valentine's, we have a grade 4 class that has traditionally sold candygrams for 25 cents to students, and they would purchase them for their friends. And then on the Valentine's Day, they would get, 10, 20, or 30 little chocolates along with the good messages. So a couple years ago, the teacher came to me and said, do you think we should be looking at this? And I said, absolutely we should. But we don't want to do away with the tradition, but we should modify it in some way. So we did some brainstorming, and we came up with an idea of, instead of selling the chocolate with the message, we would give the kids 15 minutes of recess time. And it went over very well with students. They were so pleased with it that they were even purchasing candygrams for themselves so that they could spend more time in the gym. So kids are looking to be more active.
David Wolf is an international best-selling author and speaker on the topic of health and longevity. He's also the son of 2 medical doctors.
Here's what we can say from the research in nutrition and food over the last 100 years, and very detailed scientific research, and also very detailed scientific effects of certain food choices over long periods of time. These are things that are known. These are things that are close to us now. And that is that you are what you eat. Food affects us. Food matters. It's important. It affects our consciousness. It affects our awareness. It affects our performance. And that pendulum is swinging back now, where we used to believe, oh, food has nothing to do with anything. You can eat any chemical. You can have any candy, anything. It's not going to affect a child's brain. It's not going to affect a child's ability to focus. And now we realized, oh yeah, it's affecting everything. There will come a time when offering junk food to a child will be considered similar to offering cigarettes to a child. It's out of the question. That the developmental ages of a child are holy and sacred, and we do not foul that environment.
The schools we profile here are only the tip of the iceberg. There are hundreds with their own innovative and inspiring health promotion initiatives. Few, however, have done a better job of measuring the impact of their efforts than the Apple School Project. Apple stands for the Alberta Project, promoting active living and healthy eating, and is privately funded through the donation of a philanthropist. This program selects underprivileged schools and supports them in adopting the comprehensive school health framework. They have a research arm and are measuring and monitoring the impact of their health initiatives. Their findings are very impressive.
Nevertheless, we found very impressive findings that vegetable and fruit consumption went up, calorie intake came down, activity levels went up, and as a result we saw obesity rates coming down in those schools.
Today, the Apple School program has over 40 schools on a waiting list, but this was not always the case.
Some schools is like, what is that? We don't really are interested, or once we were in the schools, like, where is this about? And you had to explain and justify. That was in 2007. Now we're in 2012. We have waiting lists. We have waiting lists of schools that call us. We want to be in Apple schools. How can we become an Apple school?
Fortunately for schools just now coming on board, there is a long list of resources and organizations available to support them in becoming healthy school communities. One such resource is the Alberta Healthy School Communities Wellness Fund. This fund supports healthy school initiatives by providing feedback and funding to projects which address healthy eating, active living, and positive school environments using a comprehensive school health approach.
Well, we have now about 150 projects across the province, so that's about, 750 schools, over 200,000 students have been impacted by the Wellness Fund. The support we give is, as I say, it's on the periphery. So we guide them with the grant process. We have conversation with them about what will and will not work. We link them to local partners. So often it's the partners on the ground that work with them day in, day out, but we're here in the background to offer that support. Our whole premise is about making sustainable change.
When I asked Libby what her favorite part of her job was, she laughed.
I love it all. I think I'm an educator myself, I'm a teacher, I'm a parent, and it's just seeing the change that is happening out there. You said earlier about you go out to these projects and it makes you want to cry, it does. And it's actually seeing the reaction by the staff, by the students. And I really congratulate all those school districts and schools that have bought into this. And what's noticeable is now that it's like an osmosis effect, that they are impacting the schools and school districts around them to get on board, because they realize the impact that focusing on comprehensive school health has.
So is this your first banana? Well, I've had it in banana bread, but you don't really taste it there.
No, you don't taste it as much, but this is the real deal.
Comprehensive school health is tried and true. It's powerful and it's proven. It has many benefits. It benefits parents in their efforts to raise a healthy child. It benefits schools in terms of academic performance, student behavior, and staff wellness. And it benefits society at large through the prevention of disease and the saving of healthcare expenses. Currently, federal and provincial governments spend an estimated $400 billion each year treating predominantly preventable lifestyle diseases.
Chronic disease is an important cost driver in our system. It's said that 70 to 90% of these diseases are preventable across the country. So, one has to think what we could be doing with the money that we saved if we only had a healthier population.
Yeah, the statistics speak for themselves. 91% of all diabetes can be prevented by doing two things: eat healthy, be active. So I say 91%, and that's basically all the type 2 diabetes being preventable by doing those two things. Cardiovascular diseases, for 90% preventable by doing three things: eat healthy, be active, do not smoke. Some people would say 50%, other people would go up to 70% of all cancers are preventable by doing a limited number of things: eat healthy, be physically active, do not smoke, get your vaccinations, stay away from particular occupational exposures. So yes, those numbers speak, and if you translate those numbers in healthcare dollars, then you wonder, why are we spending the money at the tail end? And why are we not spending the money at the front end on the prevention side?
Finland is confirmation that health-promoting schools are on the right track. In 1979, it had one of the highest rates of heart disease in the world. The government implemented health policies and ran a campaign to inspire their citizens to eat healthy and be active. 25 years later, there was a 75% drop in deaths due to cardiovascular disease and a 44% decrease in cancer mortality. It is quite clear from the research that the efforts of health-promoting schools will have far-reaching and monumental financial implications for Canadian taxpayers. Corinne Finney, a registered dietitian, author, and school health consultant, reminds us that beyond the grades and the money saved, promoting health at school is also deeply personal and deeply rewarding.
And when they learn about nutrition and nutrients and the value it has, not only to their ability to learn in school, but their ability to play soccer or dance or do art or be brilliant, and they really appreciate that because it's personal. And so schools can have a very positive effect on the overall well-being as a whole for each individual student. And who wouldn't want to do that?